Have you been doing some research on the BRRRR strategy? And one of the questions that you've been thinking in your head is, what's the worst thing that could happen? My name is Amy DeBusk, and I am a certified mortgage planner. And what I'm known best for is finding really niche products for investors like you who want to make the most out of your investor dollars and you're looking to build your portfolio of real estate fast. So that is the pretense behind BRRRR strategy. And when you're doing a BRRRR, when you've bought a house and you rehabbed it, and now you're looking to do a cash out refinance to replenish you on maybe some of the invested dollars that you've spent up front to buy the house or to do the rehab. You've already got the house rented out. The worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't come in at the value that everybody had anticipated. So, in my world, what I do for my clients is I have a plan A and a plan B. So, best case scenario, we get to use the after repair value and we get to give you 75% of that value. And typically, when you're working with the numbers that my investors work with, it pencils out where a lot of times they don't even have to come in with very much money down. The last one I did, the investor had to come in with a total of $8,000 out of pocket. Now, that price point, just so you know, the purchase price of the house was around 60,000. The rehab was around 20,000 and the end value was about 120,000. So when I say they only had to come up with 8,000, those are the price points that they were working with for them to only have to spend that kind of money. Um, but what is the worst case scenario? So it doesn't come in at the hoped for after repair value. And if you're in those really low loan amounts, it can be a situation where you're very limited as to a lender that would even do a takeout loan. So let me give you an example. So I have an investor who just bought in Tennessee, and they are hoping that the after repair value is going to come in at least 130,000. Now, if that after repair value comes in lower than 125,000, that is when things get a little tricky because in this arena, it's actually a really nichey arena to have a lender that will do a debt service collateral ratio loan for a really low loan amount of under $75,000. I only have one lender that will lend under 75,000. And so what that lender says is, let's say this scenario comes to fruition and my investor's house comes in at 115,000. Well, in that instance, we would have to switch banks and we would have to go to this other bank that will not lend on the after repair value. What they will lend on right out the gate with no seasoning is the total amount of whatever you paid for the house plus the total amount of the rehab. So for my investor, he paid 27,000 for the house, he paid 55,000 for the rehab, and so that's $82,000. So this backup lender, Plan B lender, is going to lend 75% of $82,000. So he would only be able to get out 61,000. So when we're talking like all in, what would he have to come up with? If he did a hard money loan out the gate when he purchased the house, he's gonna have to come up with about 25,000 of his own money. That's a worst case scenario, whereas best case scenario, he was actually not going to have any money out of pocket. So to be continued. We are not at the stage yet where he has done the appraised value or the appraisal. We're still waiting for that rehab to be completed. So I will give you a follow up video when we get to that stage. But I just kind of want to give you the good, bad, and the ugly with these burrs and with what you can anticipate for, best case scenario, worst case scenario. Of course, we always want to use other people's money. And, the whole idea is to stretch out your investing dollars so you can buy multiple homes or what normally you'd buy one home for. So we'll see how this burst strategy works out. I will be following up in a few months. And if you have any questions about you getting in on the action of a burst strategy, please log on to talkingwithamy.com. That's talkingwithamy.com.